And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. That would be a yes. Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Ace here. I am joined today with returning guest PassTheWhiskey.
Hey, how's it going?
And today we are back with more Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron. So have you had a? Are you familiar too much with the what has happened so far with this particular comic book series?
No. I read a little bit of the Empire one. I haven't been reading much of Rogue Squadron, honestly.
Uro says, time for more X-Wing. Yep. And Kakil says, Tanya the Evil. I don't know. We will see where this goes. But, well, yeah, this is the comic book series that right now is in the arc of, shall we say, Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay.
Basically, we've got one of the characters, one of the pilots ended up being nobility for a planet, but she's apparently... she apparently had a marriage arranged to one of her cousins, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that royalty line. Yeah.
Yeah, all about putting the family to the test there.
They're gonna have a flipper in the family, I don't know.
It's the way of the Habsburgs. Long live the Qin dynasty.
Yeah.
Winter's King says, let the noble intrigue begin. Yep. Swordsman says, Sweet Home Alabama. Oro says, nobles obliged to keep the bloodlines pure. That is, wink, wink, puke, puke. I'm reminded once again of Crusader Kings 2 and how there's a religion in that game that is specialized in that. It's called Zoroastrianism.
What?
Yeah, so Crusader Kings 2, there's a religion in the game that you can adopt that literally gives you benefits for incest.
Yeah, they really thought of everything in that game, huh?
Yes, they have. And it's become a meme that...
Oh man, I did not know that.
Uro says, long live the Qin, Spanish proudness, but not the inbredness. Swordsman says, gotta look out for your family, gotta keep... Winter's King says it's Qin time.
Yeah.
Brother Kakil says Zoroastrians are real, mate. It's one of the oldest religions in the world. That is true. That is an actual religion. Although I think the religion, technically, Zoroastrianism died out. I mean...
yeah.
Big wonder why when... But anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
All right.
So yeah, this comic book series takes place after episode 6.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it.
So it looks like it's about, this talks about Plur's backstory, who's the pilot princess. So I was voicing her, so I'll go ahead and just carry on with this.
All right.
Some of her earliest memories are of flying. The sensation would last only for a second, but it sent such a rush through the young girl. She was never afraid, but always exhilarated because she knew her father was always there to catch her. Nothing in her young life made her feel as good. For most of her adult life, Plur has always been flying, but now the sensation is different. She has become a fierce warrior and a pilot without peer, blasting her foes out of the air, all the while wishing for the deaths of the men who butchered her family. Yeehaw! Now she's returned to her homeworld as she knew in her heart. She would have to someday, even though no one would be there to catch her. That is, until now. Brother Cactyl says, no, the Zoroastrians still exist. They don't practice the incest anymore, though. I wonder why.
Great, wow.
So the religion's kind of reformed. Swordsman of the South says, gee, Calcul, I wonder why. Winter's King says, the real world Middle Eastern religion of Yazidism allows incest in its upper classes, includes a caste system, which upper caste members can use. Oh dear!
Huh.
Uro says, and now it is your communist brother the one to catch you. Yeah, on that subject, her brother became a communist, and like a true communist, is really just doing it to get more power for himself and not actually make the world better.
Yeah.
So basically, this comic book is pretty based when it comes to the hot takes on Marxism.
Well, I mean, I checked the story if I remember how long back. The story's by Stackpole. I didn't really see that until right now. And then okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Should I voice what's his face?
Yeah, you can voice the Count.
All right.
You write well, my Count. Not many can keep up with me when I get going.
So I see. I will not have thought fact-biting to be a requirement of an Alliance flight training.
It's not. In fact, I haven't even seen a Thonk since I was a child. But I guess some things you just don't forget. No matter how hard you try. Swordsman of the South says, Ace, any news on info on 6 Days in Fallujah? I haven't heard anything particularly new right now, although I'll keep my ears open because the game should be releasing later this year, so as far as I've heard.
That's still in delay or what? The game?
It's still in development, so...
Oh, wow. For shit.
Brother Calcul says, yes, the Zoroastrians have reformed largely due to the Islamic invasion of Iran, which supplanted it. Solon the Lich says, Alabama is a state of mind. Brother Calcul says, amen, Solon. Swordsman says, Solon and Louisiana, we don't like Alabama.
Don't like them Bama boys.
Alright, let's go ahead and continue.
Oh, okay, that's right. Princess Palua, I want you to know how ashamed I am of the role my father played in the death of your family. He...
Your father was not responsible, Riel. In fact, he tried to prevent it. There is no shame on your house, nor on you, my Count.
Perhaps. I only wish to ease the pain of your return. In some small way. It must be difficult for you being here. All members of this place. After seeing them die.
Thankfully, I never saw it, but hearing their screams was enough. I realized what was happening and ran. I guess I didn't realize that I was leaving them. Maybe if I had gone back, I could have done something.
Stop. There's nothing you could have done. You're alive now. Not only can you avenge them, but save the world as well.
Ha! If there ever was a world that needed saving, poor Iatu, so many dirty hands groping you. Perhaps Count Laban's the dirtiest of all, eh?
No question, Laban is a concern to our cause. Her tongue is hardly as slippery, however. The majority of the Prismata is not as foolish. They will join us. And with you leading us, we will surely win the day. I only just ask that you allow me to be at your side from the day until that day comes.
Your confidence in me is reassuring. I only wish that I could match it with my own. I've fought so many battles, but if this goes wrong, I'll have destroyed us all. Alright, let me go ahead and read some of the comments here. Swordsman says, bro, I can't wait to play Modern Warfare 2 just for the campaign. We'll see how it goes. Uru says, see, this is a good female character. She gives a shit. Not like the eternal fucking tourist from the Halcyon. Oh, yes. Whiskey, are you familiar with the eternal tourist of the Halcyon?
No.
So,
not really.
Her backstory was that she was sick, so her sweetheart took her on the cruise, but he stole a bunch of money to do it, so bounty hunters were sent after him. And even though she had a blaster on her and could have taken out the bounty hunters, she chose not to, and the bounty hunters just drug him off to the people that he stole the money from and killed, and the people that he took the money from just killed him. And she just goes on living, saying, "Oh, what if I just simply use the blaster?" Yeah! What if you had actually done that?
Shit, sure. Holy shit.
Oh, but it gets better. So, you know how typically when most people go on vacation, it usually means that when they get back to work, for example, they realize that they end up typically being a little bit out of shape and needing to work back into their schedule, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the adjustment period. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's on vacation, permanent vacation for the rest of her life on the ship, basically. But because she is on vacation, she instead gets stronger. She becomes a Giga Chad badass who kills pirates like it's nothing. Oh, and by the way, even though she's on vacation on this luxury starship, she's been on it for so long that it's become her own personal purgatory, to the tune that shooting pirates is the most fun that she's had in years, in her own words.
Oh my god.
I mean, this is supposed to be an ad for the actual hotel that Disney is trying to get people to go to.
Yeah, that would steer a lot of people away, I think. I don't know.
Winter's King says, "Don't forget her dear sweetheart paid up the..." Yep.
Oh,
He paid her room for basically a full century.
Yeah, he got super cut.
And then she just lets the bounty hunters take him away and kill him. I mean, that is a level of simp that I have that didn't know was possible.
What a simpering idiot. Holy shit.
Swordsman of the South says, female Giga Chad WTF. Yeah. Well, I mean, female Giga Chads could exist, but if you're on vacation and don't do anything for your entire life,
yeah, I know.
You're not going to become a Giga Chad that way. Uro says, Super Death Simp. Sounds like a bad American game, but it's what we got as a character. Yes. Also, the boyfriend actually put up a fight and was beating up dudes that he shouldn't have been able to beat up.
What was he like? Built smaller than them, or what?
Not only was he built smaller than them, but they... Trying to remember who it was that he beat up. I think I know who it is, but let's see. I'm just gonna double check here.
All right, no problem.
Oh yeah, so it was Bosk, the legendary bounty hunter Bosk, and he just beats the shit out of him and
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the guy beat up a Trandoshan in a straight up fist fight.
Yeah, don't they fight like Wookiees and shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And he just manhandles him and overpowers him. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Remember, for comparison, remember the Wookiee character in this comic book series, X-Wing Rogue Squadron, and how he managed to single-handedly take out an entire garrison of stormtroopers by himself.
He took on like a whole squadron or something. Yeah, he was pretty badass. Yeah,
Brother Cacule says, actually, now that you mention it, why did he loan an amount of money large enough to pay for the cabin for so long? No wonder they came out of it. Yeah. Yeah, that too. I mean, I guess if you're going to steal from people that you know are going to kill you, you might as well go all in. But that's still
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
seem like the best plan. Winter's King says, yeah, he's fighting a Trandoshan in hand-to-hand combat. And not just any Trandoshan, it's Bosk that he fights in hand-to-hand combat.
I'm not like a top tier bounty hunter. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's like,
So yeah, that is... Yeah, anyways, so let's continue on. Because...
I think we cut to this to showing like the consequences of a revolution and Indonesian struggles and stuff like that. And we get served that. I don't know.
All right. All right, so I guess I can voice one of the characters. Okay, so I know. Okay, so I'll voice Jansen, and I guess I'll voice Tycho as well here, and well,
Alright.
and Delura. Those are the three I voice. So
I would be wedging everyone else, I guess.
okay. And that's when the fireworks started. The imps must have lost the PLB when in the slumps. So when they saw us walking up, they started blasting.
And that's when you called us. To save your butt.
Oh, that's Tycho. My bad.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but the other blonde dude there with the blue shirt is you, so...
Oh, okay. Let's see if I'll get the platoon of stormtroopers with heavy weapons and tie, strafing everything that moves, and see how...
Bring him on, Junior. Bring him on.
Excuse me, Captain Antilles, but your appointment... Go on, Poe. Go on, Jensen.
Well, you know what happened next. You, Plur, Count Paranon, and Hotshot here had your hands full when the rest of us, were pinned down by the imps, and when the PLB showed up. Like a pack of screaming Raji. The next thing we knew, the imps were on the run.
Yeah, it was. Like they realized suddenly had something that's safer to do. So what of the infamous Liberation Battalion?
They're a dedicated bunch with no love for the Empire or the Priasma, I can tell you.
And what do you think of the Alliance?
They seem to be pro-alliance as long as we're fighting the Empire and haven't sided with the nobles. What about their leader, Plur's brother, Haran? He's quite the man. He has his troops highly motivated and ready for combat.
Yeah, he seemed to have his lad around him. Although nothing is possible when he's around. The PLB regulars are hard regularly to hit the prims hard.
And he's a dedicated leader. He was out all night looking for one of his lost troops. He finally found him early in the morning. The imps didn't leave much.
So why didn't you report in last night? Some sort of imp jamming?
No, PLB jamming. Sergeant Assad, the trooper who led us back this morning, told me that the PLB have static generators placed all around their camp.
Ah, that way neither the prims nor imps get a fix on their location.
Say, Wedge, did you get an exit vector on those ties that ran off?
Looked to me like they went deeper into the swamps. Why?
Because that's the direction the imps went when the PLB showed up. Well, I don't know who was voicing who, so...
I guess, let's see.
I guess you got dibs. I'll let you take dibs.
I'll take the squid Korean dude, and I'll take the fish lady, I guess, I don't know.
Okay.
Ridiculous. I only hope this world has peace, economic prosperity. With better monarchy and Prismata, they have ruled the world for generations.
Yes, but at what cost? Time and again, the royal class has sold out its people's blood and sweat to the Empire. Haran and the PLB are Yatu's only chance for the new age of freedom.
Oh, you go again.
I don't understand how you can defend the Prims, Drin. I look at the damage they've caused to the planet. The noble class even had a hand in the death of Pleur's family. I think...
That was a long time ago, Penis. The Prismata totally denounced their actions. The very existence of the Prismata is to ensure that never happens again.
How can we be so sure that those nobles who took part in the killings aren't members of the Prims? Why should Plur trust them?
Should have been a girl in the warehouse. Plur, you must place her personal feelings aside.
It looks like everyone has an opinion on the situation.
Doesn't make any sense. For them to herd and head back into the swamp. Is that a Peggle?
No, that's your character.
I was going to unless he has something to hide in there. I think we need to take another look around. Those swamps. Westside, I want you to take Rogue's Guardian back there and see what you can find.
You got it, Wedge.
Tanko and I have a meeting with the leader, the Prismata, and we'll be out of contact for a while. We won't get any backup this time.
Don't worry, Wedge. We won't let you down. I've got a good feeling about this one.
That's a change.
Yep. 370 kil... Okay, let's see who's voicing this. I think it's technically the Imperial officer here, so I guess... I'll voice...
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll be the first. All right. 370 kilos of precious metals, 2.5 million in Imperial notes with all encryption codes. And lastly, 1.5 billion credits worth of Imperial bullion.
What have the investigators found on the PLB attack?
The investigation was inconclusive. To face saying such a large amount of material, the PLB terrorists would have needed a 4-7 repulsor generator. Or a heavy transport. Yeah. I know that's my bad.
That is your character, yeah.
Yeah, eyewitnesses' accounts state that no such device or vehicle was seen.
Because you can't steal what has already been stolen. Do you expect these provincials to tell our investigators anything different?
Indeed, milady.
I'm sure the PLB pays well for the provincials' loyalty and silence. Show me the royal repositories that have not been attacked by the PLB.
3 royal repositories remain untouched by the PLB terrorists.
Very well. Have all the wealth in those storehouses shipped here?
Here? But, milady, should the terrorists strike at this facility?
But of course they will. And this time, when the so-called People's Liberation Battalion attack, they will have a full regiment of stormtroopers waiting for them. This time, there will be no escape.
The Empire.
Alright, let me go ahead and read some of the comments. Ruru says, anyways, I started blasting. Swordsman says, like a pack of screaming Hajis laughing. Yep. Did I just hear Assad? Aura says, wonder how hard and how fast this shit will hit the fan this time. Probably pretty fast. I think we've got 2 more issues left, so I'm expecting things will hit the fan pretty fast here. Alright, so you want to voice the Noble?
Okay, yeah. First, gentlemen, please accept my most sincere apologies for my outburst last evening. No apologies necessary, Count Laban. There are many strong opinions in the Yaddo debate. Indeed. You're a man who understands the way of things, Captain Antilles. I see this in you. Thank you, Count Laban. But I'm sure you didn't ask us here to trade pleasantries. A man does not waste words. An excellent trait in an officer. Well then, to the point of the matter. I am sure, my dear Captain, that you realize the importance of Iato to the Alliance. Trade routes, a friendly port, a watchful eye over the Empire. Have you measured the goals of the Alliance and those of your former pilot? Our Princess Isplorotha Katha? I'm sure the Alliance is willing to work with Yadu, whatever the outcome. But have you considered directing the outcome to your own advantage? With you in command of Road Squadron, combined with personal honor guards of headhunter fighters, we could secure a political future for the planet.
What? Team up with you against Plur? Don't bet on it, you...
Easy, Tycho. Count Laban, that will never happen. The Alliance cannot and will not take sides in this matter. Captain, should you not inform your superiors of my offer? I'm sure the leaders of the Alliance realize that the situation in Yatu is a fluid one. One must be prepared to bend as the river changes course through the land. And who knows, perhaps our newly found princess may decide to disappear once again. Laura's a big girl. She can take care of herself. I think you'll find her to be more than enough to handle. But you want to try me as well? You're making wagers that nobility can't honor. Poe, the door. Very good, sir. Damn that rebel upstart!
Ura says, slimy tone is perfect for this character, needs more asshole, though. Witness King says, attempted nation building failed. We'll defeat the people... Okay, yeah, this time there will be no Tiananmen Square. We'll defeat the People's Liberation Army, lol. Based.
Imperial China fights.
Winter's King says, I'm getting some very serious British in Imperial China vibes here. I mean, they haven't decided to take part in the war on drugs, on the side of the drugs yet, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Calista says, to beep or not to beep. That is the question, isn't it? The PLB or the Prisma, these are the allies I have to choose from. At least I know where the Empire stands.
I know you make the right choice. Because if I know... Oh no, that's my turn, yeah.
Oh, and just how do you know?
Because I know you. Just as every husband should know his wife.
I'm not your wife.
Ah!
I'm sorry. But how can you continue to hold on to these ridiculous, archaic traditions? What if I had been dead all these years, killed with my family? Who would you love then?
No one. I would have died with you. Yes, I am bound by these ridiculous, archaic traditions because they are my destiny, as they are yours. And that, my princess, is how I know so much. And that as I knew you had not died with your family. How I know you will return to Yadu. Because it is your destiny to reclaim the throne. And it is my destiny to be at your side when you do so. I do love you, and I will marry you. You and I could see your eyes that the truth is dawning on you.
I mean, given the look on her face,
I'm getting the opposite feeling, bud.
there is something dawning on her there, but it isn't a pleasant thing. It's the look of, oh God, am I really going to go down in history for marrying my cousin? Oro says he does have the chin. Traditions are powerful in this line. Oh God.
Yeah.
Cool says I literally done watching a meme video about the CNC General's China faction. What are the odds? I'm now thinking of the fact that there's a voice line in CNC Generals for the Chinese bulldozer where it says, and I quote, "What are they, protesters?"
Time to move out of the way.
Winter's King also says, lol, seemingly honorable dude gets rejected by shaved head lady. I feel like G.R.R. Martin was involved in writing this. Oh.
Doesn't it matter that I don't love you?
I would prefer it, but of course. Whoa!
Oh.
Some ninja type shit. What the fuck?
Come quietly, princess, and you will not be harmed. Quietly, eh? I don't think so.
Watch your spacing, everybody. Stay sharp. Hey, Delur, do you hear anything yet? What? No, I don't hear anything. Something's wrong with this place. I told you I had a very bad... Oh!
Yeah, what's wrong?
Winter's King says, sorry, but everyone knows by now that the Game of Thrones author is a pervy old man who has weird interest in incest. Now I'm thinking of George R.R. Martin just spending his free time playing Crusader Kings 2.
Or he's jumping on his trampoline in his match. Oh,
Melissa
God.
says, why are they doing the Predator handshake meme all of a sudden? Wait. Oh, yes. Fair enough. Yeah, good catch on that one.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Coolessa says, am I the only one who thinks the shaved head with stupid reversed face veil looks stupid? You're not alone on that, but...
It's very, very 90s.
Yes. Delur, are you okay? Yeah, I think so. It felt like someone was trying to slip a vibroblade through my head. Can you make it? We could... I'm fine. Let's move on. My head's clearing now.
Well, I believe yes. I don't think you should better look up this. I got an idea.
I'll let you, man.
What is that?
I've got an idea. If you allow me to do the honors.
Looks like they found one. They're already in position. Get ready.
This is suspected. It's a grain of sediment. Definitely an Imperial device.
Great. But why did it affect... Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's a little bit, dude. What's his face?
But why did I affect the lair and not us? It's a baffled noise of a large machine when you know what to be heard. There's an incredible handling was about to pick up the post and send it out.
Nerd!
Freeze! Rebel scum! Drop those blasters! Do it now!
That man needs a medic.
Quiet, scum! I bet you wanted them alive. That's one dead rebel, more or less.
Is this quiet enough for you? Crack!
Kia! The princess!
Sith spawn!
Wow, Plur's turning into a Giga Chad herself.
Speaking of which,
Don't you ever touch me again!
It's like an E-Thought talking to her simp boyfriend.
oh baby, give me my Bitcoin.
Leonard's King says, glad I made you all laugh. Oro says, holy shit, did we lose a character? It looks like it.
Yeah, I
Brother
think
Calcul says, rip and tear until it is done. Leonard's King says, how buff is that lady? Did she just lift that guy into the air? Yep.
Ever! Riel, are you alright?
Just fine, my princess. How about you? The torch shirt. Oh my god, it's so 90s. Oh, Pilar, Calpurnon, are you two alright?
It's okay, Reg. We're fine.
Wow. It looks like these guys could have used your help.
Hey, you told us that you were counting their honorable writing. We got as soon as we could. I've heard about the news about by the royal blood.
Riel, what's wrong?
This is what is wrong. This man is a member of the Prismata. It's not difficult to surmise the identity of the scoundrel behind this cowardly act. Count Laban.
So, they sent a bunch of pampered nobles after a professional pilot and then wondered why they got their ass kicked.
I guess this armor's all show and shit.
Winter's King says, no, don't touch me. You have to spend $300 for 3 minutes of that. Or says, oh no, he is hot. Swordsman says, hear me out. Star Wars harem anime. Get Disney, get on it. Coolessa says, Brother Kakiel, you beat me to it. The power of Alabama is strong in this one.
How can you be so sure, Wedge?
Because Tycho and I met him this morning. We proposed that Rogue Squadron join in the fight against you. Such treachery! I will surely send in the way of the grandfathers for this. This was an attempt to kidnap you, Pelor. No, he could kill you without having an alliance side with Dick against him. With you in his hands, he could use a bargaining chip. Do you see, Princess? Your choice is clear. You must be sure side with the PBL. And your brother Haran.
You're right, Riel. I know that I can't trust the Prims, and Count Laban must be dealt with. It would seem that my only choice is to ally myself with my brother, but the leader of the PLB is not my brother Haran. What?
But the test confirmed. The two of you are the same bloodline. How do you know this, Pelor?
Because on that night, the night my parents and sisters were killed, on that night I killed my little brother Haran with my own hands. And I'd do it again.
Whoa!
To be concluded.
Okay.
Next.
This took a turn.
I guess, yeah. Here, let me check out the next cover. Yeah, Revolution! With Vader in the back. That's cool.
So, yeah, that was the end of this issue of Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron. And, yeah, that was quite the plot twist.
Yeah.
Abundance King says, I mean, nobles are supposed to be the warrior class of a society. However, these seem to be out of practice. The fiancé set up this assassination attempt. He plots to gain the throne for her, then dispose of her and rule alone. Typical. She's having a Sith moment. I mean, yeah. Brother Cackle says, Alabama in space. Or says, da 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 moment.
Next time on Rogue Squadron.
Cool Esther says, totally not a crazy dictator in making. I mean, that is, at that point, we're getting into Ivan the Terrible territory at that point. Although, technically, Ivan killed his son rather than a brother, but still.
Yeah. Still, pretty much.
So, yeah, that was that issue of Star Wars Rogue Squadron. What are your thoughts, ultimately, on this, Whiskey?
Hold on a second.
Okay. Winter's King says, look, who are we to judge their alien culture? Brother Cackle says, I'll fucking do it again. Yeah, I get that reference.
What was it you asked me again, Ace?
Okay, so I was asking you what your thoughts were on this particular comic book.
Well, if it's written by Stackpole, it's got a pretty good story behind it, and I thought that I didn't really expect her to, survive at the end. Her family was killed and stuff. Yeah, I didn't really see that coming in. I don't know. Overall, it seemed pretty good so far. I mean, the art's very 90s. The pacing is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't hold back on the gratuitousness and the gore.
It really doesn't.
I wouldn't expect much from that. I mean, the character actions are good with the accountant talking to Wedge and all that. I mean, it's good dialogue. I mean, keeps you invested a bit. I mean, for this arc, I want to see how the next one goes. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off for. You know what? I'm actually gonna go ahead and we'll go ahead and continue because I want to see how this ends too. And
all right, yeah. Sure, I'm up for another one.
All right. So, you want to voice the character that we found out isn't her brother, but is the leader of the PLB.
Oh, the guy. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Let me get to the comic real quick. I say to you, comrades, now is the time to burn away the light of the Imperials and the Prismata. Burn it off the face of Yasu with the flame of freedom. Our allies in the capital city have informed us that all the Ido's material wealth has been transported to the Imperial Citadel. How could this happen without the order of the Prismata and the blessing of the newly returned sister, Isplorardakatha? It would seem that misguided sister has taken to the way of the Prismata and the nobles. The same Sith spawn that murdered our families years ago. This is the time for me to strike at the black hearts of the Prismata and the Imperials, to avenge my family and restore Yaru to a former glory. Will you help me? Will you bring help? Or will you bring me about the dream of my peace? Yeah! Liberation! Death to the Prismata!
Haran!
Whipping up the masses.
Haran! Haran!
Hype up the masses, yeah.
On that night, I killed my little brother Haran with my own hands, and I'd do it again.
And to use the quote from, I think it was Brother Cacul here, or someone said it.
And I'll do it again.
Fucking do it again.
Fucking do it again, man.
Alright, let's go. But how? Why?
You of all people should have suspected, Riel. You knew what Prince Haran was. You knew the royal family's dirty little secret.
What? Do you mean Palua?
I mean that even in paradise there's always the touch of evil. The bloodline of my family has been kept perfect for over 10 generations by the royal life engines. Yadu's finest scientists were charged with achieving what nature could not, keeping the genetic line pure of all ills that plague the citizens of Yatu. But as you know, nature abhors a vacuum. And sure as Yatu revolves around the sun, my little brother, Prince Harandatha, was mad. All those years of dipping from the same genetic pool caused a wrinkle, a flaw in an otherwise normal family line.
Oh man.
Damn.
We set out to keep ourselves above the common man and found ourselves with a thing from the deepest pit of the Sith. Yet it was never spoken up aloud. Only in dark corridors of the palace, gossiped by the kitchen maids and royal physicians. There was only one thing that gave my brother more pleasure than the suffering others weaker than himself. The Empire and its champion, Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. I suppose my parents should have expected it. The day Vader came to Yatu himself to inspect the Imperial garrison and to visit with his greatest admirer was the happiest day of my brother's life.
So yeah, this kid is going to turn into a serial killer.
Little tyrant in the making. Oh shit.
They played in Haran's room for hours.
Wait, Darth Vader playing with a kid by... Now this is getting interesting and weird at the same time.
That's took a turn for the weird.
No one was allowed into the room, and no one knows what they talked about. But when they finally walked out, something in Haran had changed. It was as if meeting with Vader had purged the darkness inside of Haran and replaced it with something else. Something cold. My parents were relieved. That is until that night. The night I ran away. My father was able to lift me into a venting shaft that led me to the outside. There was only one thing stopping me. My darling little brother. He screamed for the nobles to come and get me. He screamed of how we wanted to watch them as they slit my throat, and then he would be emperor. His screams mixed with the screams of my family as they were put to death, and there was only one thing I wanted to do. Put an end to the screaming.
Whoa, pretty fucking brutal.
I dragged his body into the brush. It didn't take long for a pack of Thivosaurs to pick up the scent.
Princess.
Plur, if the leader of the PLB is not your brother, who is he?
You can bet he's an Imperial spy.
I don't think so, Wedge. Haran wanted me dead so he could rule for the Empire. This Haran is fighting the Empire.
And defeating them.
The Empire has always been in disarray since the Emperor's death. The local moths are on their own for most of the part. I'm sure some are taking advantage of their Emperor's lack of power.
You think the local mafia and Haran are in this together? If they know of Taveri, she's behind the entire charade, aye?
What the?
TIE fighters! It looks as if the PLB has decided to start the revolution.
They're storming the Imperial Citadel. Imposter or no imposter, he's not going to burn down my city. Let's get to the hangars.
If the ants are firing for the PLB, who's in the swamp with Rogue Squadron? I guess.
Retreat! PLB's forces are storming the citadel!
Hold at all costs, you hear me, Lieutenant? Hold at all costs.
Well, it seems the Empire has lost its hold on another star system. I'd start looking for a fast ship if I were you, Tavira.
Not to worry, my dear Lieutenant Jansen. Everything is working as I have planned.
How do you figure that? The PLB hates the Empire. If they break into the Imperial stronghold, it won't be long on Yadu.
Unless I'm working with the People's Liberation Battalion. It seems that some on this miserable planet feel that power is worth far more than high ideals. You see, Lieutenant Jansen, my husband, the former Moth, died quite suddenly. I took charge of this backwater world. But unlike my late husband, I saw a way to turn the political unrest of this planet to my advantage.
But how could Haran ally himself with you? The PLB would never stand for.
Because I control Haran Estilio, leader of the PLB. Haran is an imposter, an imperial plant. It seems the Empire had a spy for years on Yatu. In the true Prince Haran, when he disappeared, the Empire had a boy in waiting to go take his place when the time was right. This false Haran truly believes that he is Haran. He has all the true Haran's memories. He believes he in his cause, but more in the power that the PLB will give him. And he truly loves me, the fool.
So this comic is turning based.
I mean, it's written by Stackpole, so it's pretty good.
So the whole plot of this comic could be summarized as women destroyed communism.
Rise up, yeah! That's pretty cool.
Cool Essence says, rip the one guy who wanted to enjoy AoE. Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's read some more of the comments here. Apparently these nobles have enough pull to get Vader to babysit for them. Aura says, Darth Vader is proactive in his indoctrination. Shall you be as dedicated to approach your local children today and tell them the good news of the Sith?
Right?
Winter's King says, apparently these... Okay, so Quillissa says, a proof that bald people are evil. They can't even stop doing stereotypes. Aura says, we cannot have bad guys with eye patches anymore, though. It's some kind of phobic now. Winter's King says, her brother was shown to be secretly working with the Empire last time, right? He was sadistically torturing a guy. Yep.
Okay. Well.
Lessa says, rip the one guy who wanted... Yeah, okay. Brother Cakiel says, wait, when was it established that she knows that Vader is a Sith Lord? That's not common knowledge as far as I know. I mean, higher-ups knew that Vader was a Sith Lord, I think, because... Well, Tarkin knew, for one thing.
Yeah, they didn't really believe all that, and like in the Empire military, it's like some mystic religion that like died out 20 years ago, and they destroyed the Jedi Temple and shit like that, right?
Yeah, but nobles would have known about it, basically. I think nobles would have actually known about that, too.
Okay, yeah, because they got records of like the Old Republic and shit like that, right? I mean, I'm thinking. So... Study your history, guys.
Swordsman says the imposter is sus. Solon says cringeophobia to Oros about the phobia against eye patch. Oros says it has a name. Holy fuck, six pack. Quilessa says even Zinch cringed at that plan. I mean, this is some pro gamer move levels of scheming. I will give him that. Oros says Black Widow of a woman needs to be staked, but allow her to destroy the commies first. Feminazi cited says Winter's King. Swordsman says women destroy communism. I thought women loved communism. Well, yeah, but communism doesn't work, so whenever it's tried, it ends up getting destroyed by itself, so...
Yeah. Doesn't work out for anyone in the end, really.
Or it says, the swordsman, women love power. Winter's King says, I thought Tarkin knew because he knew Anakin before that. When did Tarkin meet Anakin? I thought that was...
It's in the Clone Wars when he rescued him in that prison with Rex and that other Jedi little the dude with the big ears with the green saber. I don't know.
Yoda. Okay. Fair
No,
enough.
not the other guy.
Alright, anyways, Swordsman says, no wonder women love communism, it doesn't work. It's kind of like the women that love absolute deadbeats that don't do anything and just sit around all day wasting everyone's money.
Yeah.
Coolessa says, base woman in Disney comics, we are making progress. Well, sadly, this is before the dark days, before the Disney Empire. This is the days of LucasArts. Winter's King says, into the Clone Wars, he became Anakin's. Yep, fair enough. But
oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
But I know he discussed it with his other with the other nobility.
Other admirals, yeah.
So, I could see a noble at least knowing about that, anyways. Just something.
Yeah. I mean...
Anyways, let's get back to it. You see...
Okie dokie. I smoke it.
You see, I feel the Empire is not long for the system. I tend to get what I can while I can. If Haran succeeds, I can leave this backwater planet to the PLB. I have rated enough credits to do anything, go anywhere. Or I can marry Haran, kill him, and rule the Poriatu as his widow. Either way, I'll have what I want. Then... Yeah, alright, that's your character.
Okay. Why do you need us?
I don't. Hostages, perhaps, if plans should go awry. But they won't. As soon as I know the outcome of the battle, I'll kill you all.
This is not good.
We gotta get out of here.
Now that's a good plan.
Oh, shit.
Alright, let's hit him hard! For the Poriatu!
No, you don't, you little...
Yeah, thank the stars.
Uros says, oh, she is corrupt as fuck and a power monger. She is a commie. Yeah. Coolessa says, ouch.
Wedge, we've got to take out the turbolaser. I'll be... No, not again. Never again.
Vrap, vrap. What?
Oh, is that Wedge? Or yes?
Yep, that's Wedge.
Okay. Oh,
Wow, nice work, Galore.
Just
Now the only
Oh, that's you, yeah.
Just wanted to make it a fair fight.
Now they only have to get to a company of stormtroopers. Head up, people. Actually, we've got more company.
Quillissa says, "Hey Ace, did you check out the Dark Empire fanimation on YouTube? They're good. I'll have to have a look at that." Swordsman says, "My lesbian friend is scared YouTube shadow banned her because she said she went off on an oppressed minority. I don't know who she's talking about." Dr. Kakil says, "The Virgin Revolution versus the Chad Religious Uprising."
Yep.
Yep.
What was that? Oh yeah, about that whatchamacallit, that Empire War animation. You seen that, Ace, or no?
I haven't had a look at the Dark Empire animation. No, not yet.
It's all right. The guy puts a lot of effort in it. I mean, it's got some heart. I mean, it looks it's kind of janky, but I mean, for what it's worth, for homemade, I'll give it to the guy. He's getting better with the later episodes. I'll give him that.
All right, I'll have a look at that. So, do you want to voice these characters here?
Yeah, sure. All this time looking for a rebel corpse, we'll never find in this mud hole. Well, we better look at. We better. Did you hear that? Oh, hold on. We better. Did you hear what she did to Lieutenant Volks for not bringing the body back? No. What'd she do? I don't know what you call it, but it wasn't pretty. What the? Ah! Damers!
You missed a line there.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Oh, here we go again. What the? Hey, you better watch out. You don't even know it's swimming around in the muck. Yeah! Damers! Crack. Slip blood. You've got enough in there. You're caught that is learning how to breathe in the water. Something I learned as a small fry. So having to breathe as this muck, like breathing stone. They must have taken them to the location. Well, I think they're in for a little surprise. Here! Don't move! Time to go! Let come! Rip. Alright. I guess it's my line too again. Mm-hmm. Liberation! Check those currents. Watch yourselves. This place could cave in at any moment. Comrades, we are victorious!
Hurrah! Hurrah!
Yeah! I see our new allies have come to join in our celebration. Sergeant Ashad, help that pilot down. By the stars, it's Princess Isabella Gartha. At long last, dear sister.
So you're the man who claims to be my brother.
Don't you recognize me, sister dear? Has the memory of the brotherly love faded?
Oh, come on. I don't know who you are, but you're definitely not my brother.
Lord Haran, watch out! Sergeant Ashad, this is between my sister and me. No one is to interfere.
This man is an impostor, a plant to create unrest between the nobles and the citizens of Yatu. The true Huron died years ago on the night my family was murdered.
Gasp. How do you know this, sister dear? How do you know that I was killed that horrible night?
Because I killed you. Prince Haran was mad, an abomination created from years of genetic tampering. Prince Haran was also an imperial spy, corrupted by Darth Vader himself.
My poor sister. It all seems all those years on the run have muddled your fragile mind. I escaped that night, spirited away by loyalist members of the court.
Who were they? Where are they now?
They were killed in...
People of Iatu, hear me. I don't know if you believe that I am Princess Isplur Darkatha, or until recently I didn't believe it myself. Years ago, the people I loved most in the universe were taken from me that night. I killed my mother's only son. I ran from Iatu and never looked back. Now I know that you can never run from your home. Iatu is the birth world of my father and mother, of my entire family. Iatu took everything I had away from me, yes. But it gave everything to me as well. And all those things, my family and their love, are here. In every blade of grass, in all the rolling hills, and in you, good people. This man has led you to victory over the Imperial invaders, something that no leader of Iatu was able to accomplish. But he is but a pawn of Moth Liana Tavira.
Lies! Lies! I came back to this planet to save my people from oppression and the noble, to bring a whole new age to the world. And what is she done? For Cardinal the Prismata and the Imperial, I led you to victory.
I almost wish that you were, my brother. At least then I would not have to live with the guilt I've carried all these years. But you are not, my brother. You are a lie, a false hope to a helpless people. Once we have Moff Tavira in custody, you can get to the bottom of this and find out just who you are.
Get back! Sergeant Ashad! Stop her! Lord!
You see, these people don't need us. This is the strength of Iatu, not its leaders. Its strength lies in its people.
I said, stay back! Stop her! I am Prince Harnesteel, leader of the People's Liberation Battalion.
And that ring, brother dear, just isn't you.
I said, stay back! Come on, no! Ah! No! Help me! Ah! It's true. He was an imposter. Who's that? Who's that guy in the back?
Plur! Oh, that's your character, my bad.
Oh, I didn't see him. Okay, he's wearing a different outfit. Okay. Plur! Are you alright?
Yes, Riel, I'm fine.
We evade the last of the ties. The citadel's secure. So, this is the would-be prince.
Wedge, have you heard from Jansen and the others?
I just got word from him. He and the rest of Rebel Squadron were willing guests of the Moth. I think that's me still, right?
That's your character.
Oh, okay.
That's Wedge.
Oh, okay. Jansen told me that they managed to escape with the help from Narin. Seems that Moff Tira is able to escape with only a portion of the royal funds she had stolen. They were able to rescue the rest of it, and we're waiting for you to send a transport to the location.
What about him?
And what about the PLB? What about Count Laban? And Prismata? What will Yadu?
We'll care for him the best we can until we find out just what was done to him. And for the rest...
Are you sure you won't join us, Palua? The time's still There's still time, you know.
I appreciate that, but my life is here. This world bore me now. She desperately needs me to be nursed back to strength. Perhaps after that, with newfound unity, we can then learn to walk together. Regardless of where those steps may take us, the actions of certain parties will not be forgotten.
Even though Moff Tavir got away with a fair amount of pure bullion, we'll do our best to track her down. For you.
No need to concern yourself with that. The majority of the funds are still in my possession. What about that imposter? What happens to him now? The poor soul. Whatever mind he may have possessed before, either Haran's or his own, is gone now. As far as our researchers can determine, the ring he wore was some kind of brain programming device. Contact with it somehow reinforced the real Haran's memories that had been implanted into his mind. The very idea of such a device is unmistakably Vader. Destroying the device as I did may have erased his mind, but at least he's free of the Empire's influence. Our physicians will care for him as best they can. Perhaps a Jedi's help once we've officially joined the Alliance.
Well, you be missed, Valor. You're a great leader, a damn good pilot.
As great a pilot as you are a commander, I'll miss serving with all of you. But I must say I'll miss my X-Wing most of all.
I don't think you should miss her at all. Your place is here, and so is hers. After all, you may need her.
Does that mean you'll keep a spot open for me in Rogue Squadron?
You'll always be welcome, Valor.
You saved our world. When you're ready, come back and save the rest of it. Oh,
is that Wedge? Oh, come on. You save the world. When you're ready, come back and save the rest of us.
And the end. Yep.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah, I agree. That was pretty sick. Solon says they're living in symptom or a society or a society, if you will. Oro says that is your brain on communism, kids. Quilessa says how to make people betray the one who they think is the prince for years. Easy admit to killing the real prince, so in no way the imposter is that. It's not the real prince. Brother Calcul says, by the way, lads, have you all watched the latest Mad Lads? I have not seen it yet, but I do need to. Yes, Calcul was a fun one, very interesting. Yeah, okay. Need to watch. Yep. All right. So I think we're in a good position to go ahead and. Well, what are your thoughts overall on these two issues that we've read?
Even though I didn't really know much going into it, you kind of filled me in, and we basically just picked it up 2 issues near the end. It fills you in pretty good on what's going on, who the characters are, relations, and Plum was pretty good. She was alright. She was better than from anything that Disney put out today.
Agreed.
Let's see. The art was good. Didn't hold back on the vines, which is good. Kept it consistent. That dude got his fucking hand vaped.
Yeah, that
was crazy. Same thing. Pacing stayed the same in this comic. I mean, it was good. Overall, it was dope. I mean, shows how Rogue Squadron come in and turn the tide sometimes. A lot of the time, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's very much 90s Star Wars. I'll give it that.
I agree. It's a genuinely good comic book series. One that's definitely worth reading.
Yeah.
And now that we're out with, now that we're done with this, I'm going to actually be curious to see what the next story arc is going to be.
Yeah.
Actually, gonna see what a sneak peek is. just for the sake of it.
Next week on Rogue Squadron.
Requiem for a Rogue. Okay, so we've got both in spies, and so this looks like it's going to be an interesting twist here. All right.
Requiem for a Rogue. Yes. That's cool.
But yeah, this is a pretty good comic book series, one that I can easily recommend reading, I think. Coolessa says, and I quote, "I am escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism."
One place that is corrupted by. You can tell he tried to keep it in when he was oh, fucking.
You know, that's not the only game that I would say that I would recommend just for the hammy acting of Tim Curry. Another one I could recommend is Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster, because that game is an FMV point and click where Tim Curry is Dr. Frankenstein.
What?
Yes.
That sounds pretty cool. Nice.
By the way, you play as the monster, so you actually see him doing all kinds of weird, messed up stuff. But it's Tim Curry hamming it up as Dr. Frankenstein, a character that, let's be honest, deserves to get hammed up a fair bit.
He's the king of ham.
It's alive! Alive!
That's crazy.
And the stuff that's in that, it's a 90s it's a 90s FMV game, so it is. So much cool. Ham in addition to that, so. Coolessa says, what game? Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster is the name of the game.
Frankenstein. When did that come out? Like in
95, I think.
Oh my god, that's when I was born. Jeez.
Ironically, it's about the same time that this comic book came out, so.
Yeah, this seems like it's 96, 97 era, this type of art.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that game is, well, it's exactly as I've just... Yeah, it's, like I said, stars Tim Curry as the Doctor himself. And it's, yeah. Winter's King says, have you read the actual Frankenstein book? Yes, I have. The Doctor is actually even more crazy and weird in the books than most adaptations.
I actually haven't read Mary Shelley's actual book, Frankenstein, so...
Well... I mean, yeah, it is true that he was considered an oddball in the book as well, but it's... The weird thing is it's also mainly told from his perspective. It's first person, so...
Oh, so it's like in journalistic form, kind of? Or...
So it's first person perspective.
Oh, okay, alright.
Although, when you actually see Frankenstein's monster finally come up and they reunite, you then get the backstory of the Frankenstein's monster through the monster's first person perspective.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I gotta read that now. Frankenstein.
Coolessa says, the game is on my abandonware. There's a certain individual known as Zom's Lair that has actually gotten the game running, and that's the best way to get the game running these days, is to use the Zom's Lair build. He specializes in a good number of games, getting older games to run as well. So, yeah. I know, for example... Winter's King says, it's very good except for Chapter 17, where young Mary Shelley goes off for 12 pages about how mountains elevate her soul and are pretty. I don't remember that. But then again, that's considering it's that's the weak point, that's probably why.
Is it a pretty long book? Or...
I wouldn't say it's particularly long.
Or is it kind of a slog to read to get to like the actual beats?
No, not really. There's also the Mary Shelley Frankenstein movie, which came out in the 90s, but that's kind of...
Not the one with Gene Wilder. The other one?
No, that's Young Frankenstein, the one you're thinking
of. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Young Frankenstein, I'm sorry.
But no, this one's different. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is closer to the book than, say, than the classic films, but it still takes liberties like, well, Dr. Frankenstein never so when the monster, spoiler alert, well, you want me to the book's 200 years old. I'm not.
Hey, go ahead. It's all right.
So the monster at one of the key points ends up killing Frankenstein's bride, soon-to-be bride.
Oh. Huh.
And in the book, that's that basically, and Frankenstein goes hunting after the monster. Whereas in the movie, Frankenstein does actually resurrect her, and then him and the monster fight over her, and causes her to be. Well, she gets so horrified by being turned into a monster that she kills herself over it.
Oh, shit. That's from the movie version, right?
That's in the movie version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to watch. I gotta check out both of them, actually.
The movie version also goes into more detail on how the monster is made, which is kind of not really given too much detail in the book.
Okay. Into its extensive detail, not much.
Like, okay, so you have to remember, right? The book came out late or early 19th century, and it's set in the late 18th century, basically. So things like electricity are still fairly new concepts. So he ends up using Dr. Frankenstein in the movie ends up using electric eels to shock the body to life.
Oh, that's cool.
There's some other more messed up stuff that I'm not going to get into because, well, we know how YouTube loves it when you bring up stuff that's not necessarily ad-friendly. But it matters much when...
Frankenthirst.
Not that it matters really much when the entire channel gets demonetized because...
Yeah. Kind of tiptoeing around there.
Oh yeah, another... but yeah, like I said, though, the movie and the books actually are still more similar. The Mary Shelley Frankenstein movie is at least more similar to the book than the other adaptations. So, Oro says Rule 34 before Rule 30. I'm trying to think of what you're talking about there, because if you're saying that Frankenstein inserted the electric eels into the body, that's not exactly what happened. It's some sort of tube where he has a fluid. Now, the fluid is where it gets messed up.
So is like the fluid bringing back the corpses back to life?
The fluid is definitely part of it, but basically the eels are sent into this fluid that they then shock the fluid, and the fluid electrifies the body and brings it back to life that way.
Oh, okay. So they don't usually use electricity in the way that, like the cliche, thunder striking and all that.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't use thunder in the move in the.
Okay.
And like I said, they don't really go into too much detail in the book on how the monster is made, which, amusingly, now that I think about it, the earliest film adaptation for Frankenstein was all the way back in 1910. And the way they depicted the monster being created in that was he just dumps random ingredients and the monster slowly manifests into some sort of cauldron that he has set up.
Huh.
So you actually see the monster go from a skeletal system to having muscle, meat, and all that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and in 1910 they were doing this.
Yeah, that's pretty, forward thinking, honestly. That's crazy. Huh, I gotta check that out. Frankenstein.
Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and call it. But yeah, this is a comic book that is definitely worth reading, I think.
Yep, 100% agree.
And I am looking forward to what else happens with this. But yeah, in any case, this has been Ace.
And PassTheWhiskey.
And we both hope to see you again soon. Till then, take care.